Well, welcome back to WJZ at 9 here on your Monday.
And we are excited for our next guest. You know him from the popular Bravo reality show Southern Charm.
Craig Conover joins us this morning to talk about the new domestic skills that he is really kind of promoting and involved in. And Craig, thank you so much for being with us and for coming to Baltimore here in the next weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me all. Good morning. And I'm pumped. It's kind of a homecoming of sorts. You know, I'm from the Eastern Shore, and so that my family's all from my dad's side's from Baltimore, so it's gonna be really fun.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, well, you've been on Southern Charm for more than a decade, and we want to talk to you about Sewing Down South. Tell us about the company, how it got started, what inspired it.
Yeah, I started sewing back in home ec class in 7th grade. You know, half the year you learn to cook, half the year you learn to sew. And I've gardened and cooked and sewed since then, and started making pillows about 8 years ago and really launched this home decor company with my two partners, Amanda and Jerry. And we're trying to bring crafting back into schools. And just because it's not a necessity anymore to make your own clothes doesn't mean that it's not, you know, therapeutic and good for you to make things with your hands. So we're really sharing this micro homesteading movement, and the home shows are really great though. We do a fireside chat and talk about small business, entrepreneurship, how to turn your side hustle into something more than that. And we always do an audience question and answer, and I stick around and meet everyone. So it's a lot of fun.
And Greg, you mentioned it's not a necessity anymore, but it is really a life skill that you can't go wrong with learning. Are you able to convey that to people to say, hey, look, you know, you may not need it, but you may want to have it?
Yeah, I see it on planes a lot. I travel every week around the country doing these, and I'm starting to see more and more people doing little sewing kits that they buy. We've got a cast member on our show, Charlie, that knits blankets when she flies. A lot of the veterans that I work with, they're really starting to get into making things with their hands just because it helps. I mean, it feels good, and it's good for the mind. So I think we're starting to see a lot of middle school and high school kids bring me their creations at these home shows and show me what they made. So hopefully we're inspiring, you know, a handful of people out there.
Craig, you mentioned that you grew up just with it in school, but is that where you first learned to sew, or did your mom or dad, did you learn it in the home first?
No, yeah. So I learned in school, and that's kind of what, there's a blockage, kind of like a mental barrier to people who weren't taught by their grandmother or their mother. Or a lot of dads actually teach people how to sew too. But that doesn't mean just because you didn't learn as a kid from your family that you can't start. And that's kind of what we champion, is that, yeah, there's some real life barriers. You know, a machine does cost, you know, like $200, but you can also hand stitch. But the mental barriers of being like, oh, I guess I was never taught, so I'm never going to be a sewer. You know, with the use of the internet now and YouTube and the connections that we bring people, it's you can really learn anything these days.
Oh, great. So now tell us about the Maryland Home and Garden Show. You'll be here this weekend.
Yeah, Friday at 4 and Saturday at 12, right before. I'm a correspondent for the Paralympics, so I get to see y'all on Saturday right before we leave for Italy to cover that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and like I said, it's about an hour experience, and then if you want to stick around after, I've got time for that also.
Well, you said you're a local. You're going to get to see any family while you're in town?
Yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of, yes, that we're going to have a good turnout. You know, I grew up going to the Ravens games with my dad and his friends, and I've got a lot of cousins in the area, and I have a feeling I'm going to see a lot of people that I know, which is fun for me.
All right.
Good, and then you'll come back for O's opening day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to throw the first pitch 2 years ago, which was really a full circle moment for me. So anytime I get to spend time and work in the area is really special. And my grandfather's 91 and still lives off Ritchie Highway, so he'll be around too.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you said 4 o'clock Friday, so folks can come down to the Home and Garden Show and see you. And we thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it.
All right.